EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us about 20 miles south of downtown L.A. at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and our home team. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Ready? Pittsburgh. Mike 54. You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
And they are not going to let him turn the corner. Some serious pressure right out of the gate. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
It's now 3rd down and long.
So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
On the run, it's Kelly. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now. It's Kelly, and this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there and a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
54, right there. 54, Mike.
Running on first down, Eckler. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's the first carry for Northwestern's Justin Jackson. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 34.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and run for it. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. Anthony Lynn went for it but did not get it. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Ito Smith, his first carry. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Allen to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3.
What we got?
From the gun, it's Allen. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance, if they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing. It puts them in that position.
And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2 at the 17-yard line.
On 2nd down, it's Jackson. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
On the ground, this is Jackson. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down L.A. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run the counter. McFarland, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on. Echo! Right there. 54, right there, right there. 54, Mike. Go, go. Check, check. Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4". Push him back.
Jackson. And this is caught by Jackson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. We're scoreless after one. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
They go play action now. Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They run with it. It's Kelly. And that gets back some of what they needed, but they're still stuck here with a 3rd and 13.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
55.
From just shy of midfield, Allen looking downfield for... This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones with touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Crosby, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Grady Jarrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those 2 hands over his head, that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1-yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Here now, Johnny Townsend. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They'll cut down when they're that backed up. You've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10.
Here we go.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Open man is Higgins. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Getting some penetration. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. If you don't get this boy, you think you won't take off.
Now it's Jackson. He'll get this to his running back. It's Justin Jackson. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
The end result, 21 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Jackson, flushed out right. This pass complete to Higgins. And a little spin cycle, room to run now. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big one there for the Chargers, 42 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They run on 1st down with Jackson. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all. As we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic. It's our field. It's our field. Come on. No. Check that. We want Mike 52.
Jackson from the shotgun. Escaping the pressure right. He finds his receiver Williams for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offense.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Falcons. Justin Watson, 78 yards. And the Falcons have taken the lead.
Let's go.
Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes, back-to-back.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And now he'll tuck it and run. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down.
Hey, watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Mike 54. That's it. 54. You must be dreaming.
Right there. 54, right there.
This time Jackson will throw it. It's complete to Graham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Check. Walk 54. Walk 54.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
Go. Whip. Watch the whip.
Jackson on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now he's flushed out left. The ball comes out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. On 2nd and 15 now. Allen, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Allen. It's caught. Jones. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Allen. And an alley to run. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen, they'll set up the screen to Smith. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
Breakstone, travel, 30 base. Here we go, G, get off the field. 5.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He completes this to Russell Gage. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 32-yard line. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out.
And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game being on second half no matter what. Well, his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Now Jackson on first down. Goes for the right side here, complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. They go play action with Jackson. Forced out to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. On 2nd down, this is Jackson. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
To throw is Jackson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. In for the score, as his guys are back within a single score. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't it? Because it's just what you described. They ran it the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear Coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
On 2nd and 12, Allen finds his man. Watson over the middle. But he'll be taken down deep into Charger territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards.
First down, Falcons.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And he's going to have the hook up to Gage.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Smith trying to run for it. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Chargers' 4-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Stop your body.
To the air, Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Justin Watson with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
The Falcons are going to leave the offense out there. They'll go for 2.
Ready? Fight.
They'll try and run it up the middle. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more.
29. Chargers 14.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Play action. It's Jackson. That's caught by Jackson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Let's get off the field, G.
Now it's Jackson. Ebron caught left side. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another 1st.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain.
Mike 52, Mike 52.
Silver.
Hey, Mike.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And it's caught. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Justin Jackson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Let it. 8, read.
Check 55, Mike. Bandit.
Play action. Now it's Allen. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And an alley to run. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a 1st down for L.A.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll let this go for the end. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. As they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. Now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. And this is caught. And they've got the lead here in the fourth. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This fielded at the 2. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down at about the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Allen to throw again. And this is going to be intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. 45's the mic.
Let's go, D. Big series right.
Now this time he'll look to throw. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Let's go, defense. Here we go.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look to grab a late lead.
Mike 5-2, Mike 5-2.
Check, 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 check.
On 2nd down now, it's Kellen. And once again, he'll get possibly back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic.
Go. That's what I do. No, check that. We got Mike 52 right here. Off.
3 buzz.
Now Jackson. Flush to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me, oh, it's out. Smith lost it and picked up by the Chargers. There he goes left side. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Badgley on for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yeah, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Allen. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
55, and let's get this. Mike, ready?
Allen to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Devin Bush in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Allen going to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Allen. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position.
Tighten down. There you go. 45's the mic. 45's the mic.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the 4th quarter, coming into it neck and neck, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the gas, and get the win.
And since you mentioned neck and neck, I'm going to stay with a little bit of a horse racing theme. It was that close, and then really went into the gallop and finished it strong.
One more horse racing theme.
Go.
I am glad you posted today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So for the home team here, a final win means they will finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-4. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it'll be a 10-loss season as they wrap up 6-10. And I think you have to say, ultimately, this was a team that really underachieved. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.